Good morning, everyone. Oh no, it's not morning. Good afternoon. It's good to see y'all. Um, I am getting ready to start. I am just trying to check my video up here to make sure we're good and live, and we are live. So and welcome to Lori. If you're still here, I know you came on and put something in the chat. If you come into the chat, please let me know that you're here. And I am going to have a drawing tonight. So if you come in the chat, let me know you're here. I'm going to add you in for a chance to win something that I brought back from Colombia. So I'm going to put you down. Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. And it's raining here too. So just give me a minute to get this. We're on number 8. So Lori and Lisa. And Leah over at Hockenberry Holler. So we're going to be talking tonight about Colombia and my experience over there. But you probably all want to know what the giveaway is tonight too. So hang in there with me. I have people who put questions in the video of the live stream. When I said we're going to have a live stream, ask me a question and I'll enter you into a giveaway. I have 7 people who entered that. I have Leah from Hockenberry Holler. I have Lori from Living Positively today, or Living Positively After Changes. And then I have Lee Ralph. He'll be number 3. I have Buzzsaw. He's number 4. I have Mary Fran. She's from No Excuses _ Belief in Myself. She'll be number 5. Number 6 is Shiny Knife. And number 7 is Lisa Schultz. You all ask me questions ahead of time. I'm going to answer those questions, and any questions that you might have today, I want you to put them in the chat. If I'm talking about something you want more information or you have another question, that's great. And then today, you'll get, if you're coming into the live stream, you let me know you're here. You'll get another entry into the drawing. So what did I bring back? I hope you all like this, because I brought back coffee. What do you buy in Colombia? You got to buy coffee. We went to a coffee bean plantation, and the stuff smells really good. And we tried it because I got whole bean for us, and we tried it, and it's really, really good. So I have 2 winners that will win the coffee, and I also have a little bag here, and this is like coffee candy. And I tried some of it there and here, and there's this little thing, and it's got a really deep coffee flavor to it. And then there's a second thing, I added those in, but this was in the bag, and this has a lighter flavor. It's really good, but this has a really strong coffee flavor. So there's a little bit of both in these bags, and this little bag is Cafe de Colombia. It's got the little Colombian hat and stuff on it. So it's pretty cool. So you'll win one of each of these. I have a couple of postcards. If you want a postcard, I can throw a postcard in. And I have some of these bags that I found that I gave away a long time ago, but I have a couple left, so I can throw one of these in there too. So you get all of that. And I have 2 winners. So that will be what's coming up for the giveaway later when we finish the live stream tonight. Leah has a new book. Leah has the Life Appalachie. Give me the name of your book, Leah. It's I bought it. Haven't read it yet, but I did buy it. Life Appalachie. I don't know. Lisa, Leah, write the name of your book in the in the comment section below. And I don't think Lisa does books. That was Lee Ralph. Lee Ralph was the one that published the book. All right. So my first question tonight was from Leah over at Hockenberry Holler, and she's going to be the first person in the drawing, the number one. And she says, was Colombia more oppressed or less oppressed than you thought it would be? Lisa saying she reads true crime books. I really thought Colombia would be more depressed than it was. Going into Medellin, when we went into the city, it was like any other city that you would go into as far as, if you've watched some of my videos, you saw I tried to take pictures or video in the city when I went into Medellin. It had office buildings, it had car dealerships, it had schools, it had stores, had malls. It's like any city. You go in and there's good sections and there's bad sections, and there's the park. And I know even when you go to like Richmond in Virginia and you go to the park, there's homeless in the park. So there's homeless in the park in Colombia too. So, but I do think it depends on what part of Colombia that you're in, because when we went to Concordia, now Concordia was more like I thought I was going to see. It's a lot of color. Yeah, they use bright colors when they paint their buildings. It's more of what I expected. Concordia was more of what I expected, but the landscaping, the plantations were just, it was so green and mountainous and beautiful, and different than what I was thinking I was going to see. The plantations were beautiful. We did visit a plantation. I have a video out on that. The workers that we saw, the people that we saw in the clinic in Concordia, we were there for 2 days to do clinic. The people that came to the clinic seemed to be the plantation workers, not like the people that own the plantations, more of the people who probably are working very hard. And I don't know how they get paid down there. I didn't, get into the pay scales and how much the cost of living was and stuff. I do know that when we went out to eat, it didn't seem as expensive to get, I got a wrap and French fries for lunch one day when we went out to eat. I don't think it was as much as I would have paid in the USA for it. I didn't really, but I was thinking that 100 pesos is like $1, I think. I'm not quite sure, but it was like 1,200 pesos, maybe $6. I don't know. To me, it didn't seem as expensive. And Lori is saying a lot about that in my poetry book. Congrats, Leah. My next paperback comes on March the 20th. A Purple Sun, a poetic journey through domestic violence. Maybe we can interview together again. That would be fun. Oh, yeah, it's Appalachia through the years. I'm sorry, Leah, that I couldn't come up with that. That was not where my brain was right here. But yeah, if you guys want to shoot me an email, if you want to do another book interview, that would be fun. And Steve is here. Hi, Steve. You would go to Colombia, Steve? I would never felt endangered there. We had locals with us. We had a local pastor and a couple of Mexican ladies that worked with him in the girls' home, and a couple of German. They were fresh out of high school, so they were probably about 19 or 20 years old, and very pretty girls that were staying at the girls' home. But they had been in Colombia for a while. All four of them could speak Spanish and English. So they were interpreters and they went with us. And then we had the guy, Gonzalez, who was our driver that drove the van. And he pretty much stayed with us the whole time and helped to interpret, but make sure that we were also safe in the areas that we were going into. I never felt like my life was in danger when I was there. I do know that the eye doctors that were there, there was a husband and wife, and then their daughter and her husband, they all came to do eye glasses for the clinic. They did say, because they stayed in Medellin in a hotel, and they said they did see people doing cocaine and smoking dope and stuff out on the streets. We didn't see that because we were in a protected area in the girls' home, and it was behind a gate and nobody could get in there. We had a beautiful facility. We slept in bunk beds in our rooms. There was four to a room. We had 3 in our room, but you could go out into the courtyard there and sit and, have a cup of coffee if you wanted to, or they always had hot chocolate and coffee and water there, and never felt endangered at all. The girls would come out with the babies and we would play with the babies. And I didn't have any problems with it. I didn't have any problems with the clinic. There were language barriers, but the girls were there, the 2 Mexican girls and the 2 girls from Mexico, I guess, and the 2 German girls, and they were there to help us to translate for us and stuff, so we could talk to the girls and the house mother, and she was just the best. They fed us good and took good care of us, and I never felt like I was in danger at all there. Even in Concordia, they were partying in Concordia because the harvest came in for the coffee beans, and it was a good year. They said it was a great year, and everybody was celebrating and picking up coffee. There were people coming into town to pick up loads of coffee and take it out to sell it, pick up the coffee beans. Not at all scary, not at all, anything that I would have been afraid of. I did stay with the group. I never wandered off on my own. I don't recommend that anywhere you go. I wouldn't go into New York City or Chicago or anything and wander around on my own. Why would I do it in a place that I don't know, especially when I can't speak the language and I don't know the area? Unless you know an area, I could go into Richmond and walk around because I'm familiar with Richmond, but would I go into another area in the United States and walk around by myself? Probably not. So, I don't recommend it, in our country or out of our country. And Lori's asking, I was wondering the challenges of the young mothers that led them to the home. There was a variety of ages in the home. The youngest being, she went into the home when she was 16, and there were a couple of girls in the 30s there, and they just, sometimes people get into situations that aren't good. Prostitution. We did go out into the streets one night and feed the homeless and hand out literature to the prostitutes down there that were willing to take it from us. And, we brought them food and drinks, and some weren't interested and some were. So basically it said, we have a home. And if you find yourself in a position that you're pregnant, you're welcome at the home. And basically knowing that there's help out there if somebody wants help and they want to have their baby, and get them on the right track, to get them out of prostitution and onto the right track. Now, I don't know everybody's story in the home, whether it's, from broken marriages or broken relationships, or I do know the one girl said she wasn't living her life the correct way. And when she came to the home when she was pregnant, they welcomed her. They're helping her learn how to sew and how to cook and how to, take care of herself, and giving her classes. And she's ready to turn her life around. So, we didn't go into the specifics of how she was living her life. We didn't judge anybody there. And it's just, it's a home that the pastor started. It was his vision to help these girls out that are either on the streets or find themselves in a situation where they don't know where else to turn, and to help them to keep their babies and go into society and be able to be a productive member of the society, to give them options. There's a lot of drug use in Colombia, as there is in the United States, and people choose the wrong path sometimes. So this is just a way of giving them a hand up. And the home was awesome, and they treated the girls really well, and the girls treated their babies really well, and each other. And that was part of it. You have to be kind to be in the home. You have to respect each other and respect the home. So they did, and they cleaned after every meal. They would sweep and mop the floor, and they even swept and mopped the courtyard outside, because their babies crawled out there, and they made sure everything was clean. And I did notice in Colombia, the streets, and especially Concordia, even with all the partying going on, the streets were clean. They were out there sweeping and cleaning up. They had pride in their country. And that really impressed me, how clean stuff was down there. So I hope that answered that question. And then Leah says, it seems like Colombia is not exactly as third world as my mind thought. And I agree, because my mind was going to third world also. And I didn't really consider it, maybe parts of it, what I saw, Concordia, maybe going more into third world, but there's plantations there. And some people are living really well, but other people maybe not so well. It depends what you do. And even the restaurant we went to there was next to a brothel. So, it's kind of like the pastor said, we're just going up the stairs into the restaurant. You don't have to deal with what's next door to you. We're not going there to interact with them, the people that are inside prostituting and stuff like that. That wasn't our aim, our mission for going to eat. Be careful of that spray. What spray is that? Not India. You thought I might be aiding prostitution. No, I don't. I'm not aiding prostitution. We were trying to feed anybody that was hungry. We're feeding the homeless, the street people, the prostitutes. If they were hungry, we gave them. What we had was like these little, almost like you buy those little roll up things and you put it or make a pig in a blanket. Well, these hot dogs were either small hot dogs or big pigs, those little things that they were skinny and long, and we rolled in a Danish or whatever they are biscuit. And we had bags of those that we would hand one out to whoever wanted one. And then they had juice, they had coffee, they had hot chocolate. They were handed out, whatever the people wanted. And if you watch my video, that a group of children, and I'm not talking about teenagers, I'm talking about 5 and 6 year olds, came running up to us to get food. There was no parents with them. There was no parents around. We don't know where they came from. We gave them food. We gave them drink. And then we rounded a corner, and there was a little boy that couldn't have been more than 6 or 7 years old, carrying another child that was probably around 3 years old. That child was totally naked and seemed to be asleep. He wasn't moving, and his face was facing in towards the boy, like the boy was carrying him. Don't know the status of that child, or why that child didn't have clothes, and where that child was going with the other child. But it was very concerning to me. I don't know how social services or anything like that works down there. No one seemed to know, even the pastor, where these children came from. And they were running across the street. The streets were busy. I just don't know. To me, that's not how we live. So yeah, the social services would have grabbed those children up in a minute. I just know if that was the United States. That's not how it is down there. Um, do you think young Mimis were taken advantage of? Mimis? Children? I'm sure, like anywhere else, I'm sure if they're moms, the young mothers, I'm sure they probably were. I'm sure some of them were. The one that was there said it was her that had gotten into the bad situations. It was her choices that led her to be pregnant and brought her to the home, and that she was trying to change her life to be better, to be a better person. So could it be? Yes. I'm sure that in some situations it can be that as a child you're taken advantage of, or as an adult you are, but we make our own choices too, and we don't always make the best choices. So all right, I saw the mayor there on YouTube, and was very surprised at his humble personality. Prostitution is legal there, like Nevada as well. Yes, it is. There were, it was nothing to have the prostitutes walking down the street. And I tell you, some of them weren't girls. Some of them were dressed like girls, but they were not girls. So that is down there too, just like it is here. Not to say we're seeing prostitutes where I live. I'm sure there are some, but we don't see them. It's not legal. My second question was from Lori from Living Positively. What kind of help do the girls need? And I think I answered that. Oh, no, maybe I didn't. I answered a little about the girls, but I didn't answer about what kind of help they need. They're getting the best help ever in this home. They're getting an education. They're getting life experiences. They're getting support. They're getting Jesus because they pray there and they read their Bibles there, and they have the pastor. And so they're learning about God, and some of them may have already known. There's a lot of Christianity in Colombia. There's a lot of God in Colombia, and you can see it, walking in the restaurants and seeing the crosses on the wall and stuff you wouldn't see in America. But they don't hide their Christianity at all there. They're wonderful people. The people in the clinic, the ladies, once they, had finished going to their doctors and stuff, would come out, the older ladies, and give me hugs and just say how appreciative they were that we were there. And they're such wonderful people, just like everywhere, but they're wonderful people. The girls in the home, they can always use clothes. They can always use shoes. I did the lady that headed our group brought some baby clothes there. They're probably always in need of baby clothes. I took little teddy bears that I made for each of the babies and the babies to be, because there were 10 babies. There were 3 that hadn't been born yet. One mom was pregnant with twins, and it was the first twins that they're going to have in the house. So I gave her 2 teddy bears because I knew she was having twins, but everybody else got 1. So I think I gave out 8. So there had to be a total of 5 babies plus 3 to be born. That's counting the twins. But I don't know that they really had a need for a lot of other things. The day we did go out to the crepes and waffles place, the girls came with us with their babies, which was very cool. We got the whole back room with our whole group, and we had a huge group. And then all the babies and all the moms were there, and the house mother was there. And it was really nice having everybody there together. I think I just dropped something, but that's okay. We'll skip it. So Lori's also asking, at the plantation, what happened to my knees? That was on the plantation video. Now, if you saw in the picture, and it's a picture on my thumbnail too, I think, my knees are dirty. Well, what happened was when we got to the plantation, there was a gate, and the plantation owner wasn't there, but we had permission to go. They don't open the plantation for tours anymore because the people were not taking care of it. They were coming in and leaving trash and kind of picking stuff and, doing stuff they weren't supposed to. So they closed all the tours except for private groups. So when we got there, the gate was locked. You could crawl under the gate. So they said, does anybody want to crawl under the gate? And I said, I'll crawl under the gate. So it was a little muddy there. I did crawl under. I got my knees dirty, and which did dry, and then I brushed it off, of course. But then they kind of like brushed the muddiness away to try to help the other people get under the gate. The owner did come. We were with one of his employees, one of the managers there that brought us up there. But he kind of laughed it off and said, you crawled under the gate, like how'd you guys get in here? But that's why my knees they looked dirty in that picture. And then Lori's also asking, did I need any shots to go through the jungle? It really wasn't a jungle. It was just a plantation. It was, it was thick in places, but most of the places were pretty wide open, and we walked down a road. I didn't get any special shots because I got shots before I went to India, and that was, a year and a half ago. So I really didn't need to get any other shots. And I did take bug spray, and I did spray myself because there were bugs. So I did spray before I went through the plantation on our hike. So, but extra shots, because of the shots I got for India, I didn't need to take any other shots. There's a spray on Channel 4 reported being used on tourists to rob them. We were with such a big group. I don't know that could have happened to us. I guess it could have. The pastor did say, if somebody comes up and offers you something, a drink or something to eat, don't take it from them. Because a lot of times, just like in America, I've heard of the guy that had a headache and he asked somebody if they had an Advil or something. Well, it was laced with fentanyl and the man died. So if you don't know a person, don't ever take medicine from them or anything else. And that's not just Colombia. That's the United States too. Fentanyl is all over the United States. Don't trust anybody ever. So yeah, if you see somebody coming towards you to spray you, yeah, I would definitely go another way. I didn't see any of that. We were in a touristy kind of area when we went shopping. There were a lot of little shops. There were people on the street. You could tell who the tourists were. They did say, don't put a backpack on your back. Make sure it's on your front. I carry my pouch that is in my front, and I had a jacket over me. So the jacket was over the pouch. Don't take out your phone and take a lot of pictures. They see your phone, they might come and take it from you. We had our warnings of, just be cautious, just like anywhere else. You have to be cautious. You can't just go and think, I'm on the street, I can be safe. I can't do that in New York City. I can't do that in Chicago. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? There's places that you can't in the United States. You don't do it there either. And they did say when we were going out to feed the homeless on the streets, don't take anything with you. They said the van will be around the corner. Somebody's with the van. Keep all of your possessions on your van, in the van. Don't take your phone. Don't take a camera. Don't take anything with you, because you're going into an area where you could possibly have something taken from you if you have it out in the open. So we respected that. And, we follow the precautions. Aided prostitution. I don't see that anywhere here. Leah. Or Lori. Well, with all the prostitution, I wondered if the young girls were taken advantage of in the girls' home. Oh, absolutely not. The girls' home is very safe. It's like I say, it's run by a pastor. It's a gated area. They're the best, nicest girls you'd ever want to know. The girls' home, no. Nobody's taking advantage of there. No, this is a Christian home. This is This is something that the Christians did for these girls. These girls are in no way taken advantage of. Lee Ralph was my third question, and he said, "What opposition did you find while you were there?" Absolutely none. Everybody, because we wore hats that said medical, and they identified us as being missionaries, doing medical there. We were respected. People wanted us there because people wanted the free medical care. Not at all any opposition. So there was nothing that we feared there. You're still cautious. You don't fear it, but you're cautious. Is the government support for these facilities? Is there government support? No, it's all through the church. It's church supported. They did make a comment that the government was paying for our food, because when we went to one restaurant when we were in Concordia. We went to the same restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 days. And we had to write our name down on a piece of paper each day. And they said they needed the head count because the government was paying for our food. So I don't know how that all worked or whatever, but I guess it's because we had the agreement to go into Concordia to do the clinic, and the clinic was totally free. Everything they did was free. The eyeglasses were free. The eye exam was free. The medical exams were free. If they needed prescription, that was free. We had prescription drugs with us, and if there was something they needed we didn't have, we sent a runner up to the pharmacy, the local pharmacy, to pick up whatever it was, and they got it for free. We didn't charge them for it. So, yes, good question, Leah. Besides that, I don't know. The girls' home wasn't supported by the government. To my knowledge, it was all through the church, through Brian's church. You're glad I was prepared. Yeah, I was prepared as much as I could be because it was my first trip and I didn't really know what was going on. Yeah, I don't know anything. I've never heard about the spray bottles, and they didn't mention anything about spray bottles. So, yeah, it probably is for the churches. I don't know how else they get their support. Yeah, I didn't really get into each of the girls why they were in the home. I just figure if they wanted to tell me, they would tell me. And that one little girl, was talking to the group and said that, she was leading the wrong type of life, and she wanted to make a change in her life, and she chose to come to the girls' home to make that change. The rest of them really didn't say. A couple of the girls said they had other children. And they said two of them said they had a teenage child. So why would where's the teenage child, for one thing? And why didn't they have the support of the family for the child they were pregnant with? I don't know. There's questions that I can't answer because I didn't have the answers. I wasn't given answers by the girls. So, all right. Question 4 was from Buzzsaw, and he said, "You must feel good sleeping in your own bed." Yes. The first 3 or 4 days, I couldn't get to sleep at all. I think because the airplane ride was so long, and there really wasn't that. We were an hour behind. It really wasn't a big time change. There was no jet lag going on, but I just could not get to sleep. The bunk beds were hard because, you're sleeping on a mattress that's on boards. So it's hard, and I'm used to a softer bed. And then when we were in Concordia, I did look under the bed because I had my own room. It was on a slab of cement. The mattress was on, because I'm saying oh, this bed is so hard. Is there a box spring? There was no box spring. It was a mattress on a slab of cement. So that must be normal for them to sleep on very hard beds, but that's not something I was used to. After about 4 days, I just got tired and went to sleep, and I slept pretty good through the night. night, but the beds were hard, and it was very good buzz to sleep in my own bed again. 14's so young, yes. But I mean, I don't know what the legal age is. I mean, even here, kids kids are kids. Yes. I believe so too. There needs to be homes, other choices for girls to have their babies if they choose to have their babies. Girls need to have choices. It shouldn't just be, you're stuck on your own trying to figure it out and you end up on the street and you lose your child but then the girls also have to make the choice if they're drug addicts to get off drugs, and they have to make the choice to turn their lives around. You can't just give people something really good and them not give something back, like wanting to change their life. You really have to want to change your life. And over Life Over 50 with Kim is in the house. Hi, I'm going to put you down for the drawing. Life Over 55 with Kim. And Kim, we're drawing at the end of our chat today. We're chatting about my trip to Colombia. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But when I was in Colombia, I bought some Colombian coffee, and this helped to support the girls' home. It was from a local plantation down there, and it smells really good. Every time I put it near my face, it just smells really good. So I'm giving away to 2 winners some ground coffee. And with that, I'm going to be sending some coffee candy. And there's 2 different kinds in here, and they're both really good because I've tried them both. So that's going to be the gift, along with one of my bags. Will go to 2 winners. I have 2 things of coffee, 2 bags, 2 of the candies, and I'm going to draw at the end of the chat today. So I've got you as number 11 in the drawing. The next question was from Mary Fran, and her channel is No Excuses _ Belief in Myself. And she's asking the question, would I go back again? And would I go back again? That was her question. Okay. Yes, I would definitely go back again. I enjoyed the whole experience being down there, the missionary work. I enjoyed the girls. I enjoyed seeing the beautiful scenery, the plantations, and absolutely, yes, I would go back again. And then Buzzsaw had a second question, and he was asking, did I drink the coffee? I tried the coffee when I got home because I brought some fresh coffee beans for Steve and I. We have a coffee grinder, so we grind our own. And I did bring some beans back, and we ground some and drank it. It was very, very good. So this is ground coffee that I'm giving away, just because I don't know if people had coffee grinders. So I got them the stuff that was pre-ground. Still smells good. You're going to love it. But I did not drink the coffee down there because when I went to India last year, I stayed sick the whole time I was there because of the water, because of the food, the spices. I don't know, but I stayed sick, and I didn't want to tempt my fate. I was very cautious what I ate, what I drank, and tried to stay with. I have a Life straw bottle that filters the water as you drink it. I tried to stay with filtered water or bottled water that going through the Life straw, and didn't try to eat vegetables that weren't cooked because I don't know how they washed them. I don't know how the water was. They did say the water was safe there, but I still didn't want to take a chance because I didn't want to be sick the whole trip. So I skipped the coffee. I did try hot chocolate one day because it was either the choice of coffee or hot chocolate in the morning. The chocolate was terrible. It tasted like you were drinking sand. So that was it. From then on, I just drank. They had juice sometimes. I drank juice or I drank water, and that was it. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Oh, I can't move it. Oh, I'm way back behind you guys. Let me catch up a minute. Oh, what's it doing? Let me see, where am I? I always wanted to start a home for young moms. I got into trouble with that as a teen. Could have stayed with me with the potential human trafficking problem. Yeah, I think human trafficking is a problem everywhere. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. Um, you don't drink coffee. Wow. I'll send you a postcard or something. Are there a lot of cartel activities where I was? Not at the girls' home. Are there in Colombia? I'm sure that there are. It's funny because my job at the clinic was to check everybody in. So I would get their IDs. I would write their name on the piece of paper. And they have 2 surnames. So you write down their first name. So on their ID is their first name, their middle name, and then above it is their mother's maiden name and their married name. So I was to write down their first name and then their first surname and the initial of the second surname. But I did notice there were a lot of Escobars. There were a lot of the same name, the same surnames. Most of them were about the same name. So I did notice that down there, that people have a lot of the same surnames. As far as the cartel, I am sure there is, but did I witness any of that? I wasn't witnessing any of that. So I was happy there. I was enjoying the experience. Just a total different experience. I went into it a little with reservations because I didn't know anybody going down there. I didn't know the people in the group going down there. I was new to the church. It was the first time I've ever been out of the country without either Steve or one of my sisters with me. And it was totally out of my comfort zone, but I chose to do it. And I was very happy down there and I felt comfortable. And so I was happy. I was happy with what I was doing. I've wanted to do missions work. I've always wanted to do a missionary trip. And yeah, I would do it again. Oh, you did some research? That's good. All right, next question was from the channel Shiny Knife. And he said, does your heart feel good? And I think he's meaning, am I happy with what I did? And yes, I can honestly say my heart feels good. I was doing God's work, and not for my own glory, but so that the people down there knew that God was looking out for them. And I think they know that from the people going down there and helping them and not charging them for stuff. They know that we were sent by God. And I even had a lady that asked me if she could pray with me, and she put her arms around me and she prayed in Spanish. I don't know a word she said, but I felt it in my heart, and it felt very, very good. And yes, my heart feels good that I was able to do this to help them out. And I know how appreciative they were. And Lee Ralph is here. Hi, Lee. How are you this morning, or this evening, I should say? And Semper Fi. It is the Marine Corps birthday today. And Lee Ralph is a brother in arms. So I'm going to put you down, number 12. In the drawing. And Lee, we are giving away some coffee straight from Colombia. This coffee helped support the girls' home. So I bought some and brought it home. I bought some for everybody, the kids and us, and it smells wonderful. And so this is ground coffee. I also brought some coffee candies home. That'll go with it for 2 winners. And I'm going to throw in one of my YouTube bags. So I'll throw it in the bags and I'll send that out to whoever I draw in this drawing this once I finish the live stream. Happy 249 to you and Steve. Yes, Semper Fi. Steve's in the other room. I think he's still in the chat. But if you're still listening, Steve, Lee Ralph is saying Semper Fi. And yes, Marine Corps birthday, 249. Lisa Schultz asked the question, would you go back to help out again? And I answered that from the other question, yes. And would you go there for vacation with Steve? And my answer to that would probably be no, because I didn't really see what you could do on a vacation there. I don't know that I would stay in Medellin. Just because we stayed in the girls' home, which was on the outskirts. The metro area is a city, and I'm not a city girl. I don't like going to any cities. I don't even like going to Richmond, and it's a small city that, I worked in Virginia. I just am not a city girl. I prefer to be out in the country. And I prefer to be in the water. If we go on vacation, we're going to a Caribbean island somewhere by the water, and we're going to be on a beach, or we're going to be scuba diving, or we're going to be doing whatever. But I didn't see Medellin being touristy. So I don't know what I would do on a vacation there. Missions, yes, I could see where, that kind of thing. But touristy, I didn't see it. Maybe it is. I don't know, but I didn't see it. So the answer to that would be no. I didn't see anything I would go back to do. Like Alaska. We went up to Alaska, my sisters and I, on a missions trip to help to cut wood. Would I go back there with Steve? Absolutely. Because there's a lot of stuff you can do on a vacation in Alaska. Colombia, I just didn't see it. And I know there's other areas of South America that we flew into, Bogota, and people said, you don't want to go out into the city in Bogota. Bogota is not the place to be. It's very scary. So I know there's other places around, and that's just, our flight outside of Medellin, but not the place you want to be. Yeah, we did. We met a 92-year-old Marine in Bedford. Leah and Chris and Steve and I were down there, and we went to a restaurant. He had his picture on the wall in the restaurant. He came out of the restaurant and chatted with us a bit. So that was pretty cool. And Kim is saying she's got to jump off in about 5 minutes. That's okay. Also scheduled a live tonight. Sorry, I think your work absolutely amazing. God bless you for your amazing help to give to those girls. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by to say hi. If I draw your name, I will let you know. And all I'll need is your address. But I'll see who gets drawn out of the bag, and soon as I'm finishing up the chat. Y'all doing okay out there? Is there any other questions? I wrote down a couple of things, like things that I missed while I was there. Is there anything I missed besides Steve, of course? I missed hot showers. Their showers there were very tricky. You had to turn them just barely on to get hot water, because if you turned them on all the way or turned it up, it was cold water. So the hot water was at the very beginning. The shower heads went up the wall and then down, so they were pouring straight down on your head. And it just wasn't, I don't know, not a powerful shower, not a very hot shower. It was lukewarm at best. And yes, I missed my hot showers. Brushing my teeth with tap water. I didn't use tap water to brush my teeth either, because I didn't know about the water. So I would use the water in my life straw to brush my teeth. And that to me is like a learning curve to do that. I'm just so used to turning on a tap and brushing my teeth or doing what I need to do with the water, but I missed being able to use tap water to brush my teeth. I missed a variety of foods. On breakfast, on lunch and dinner every day, we had rice. We didn't have potatoes. We didn't have other things. I do think they had potatoes in one of the soups that we had. It was very good, actually. Their food was good, but there was little variety. So they might fix us a carrot soup, which was pretty much all broth, and then give us rice and meat, some kind of a meat or something on the side with a fried plantain or something. I would put my rice in my soup just to give it some texture. A lot of other people did that too. When we were at the restaurant, they like pounded I don't even know if it was chicken or pork, to tell you the truth. It was pounded really flat and then cooked so that it was like overcooked and it was tough. And it didn't have taste at all to me. So the food was not overspiced. It was edible, unlike Italy. Not Italy, but unlike India, where I couldn't eat the food at all because it was way too spicy and it made me sick. I felt like I could eat really well in Colombia, but much different than I eat here because I don't eat rice for 2 meals. I may eat yogurt for lunch with some berries, but I don't eat meat and rice and soup and, 2 big meals a day. I don't eat that. Down there we did. Transportation, I missed my car. I really missed my car. We were crammed into a van. It was like a 11 passenger van maybe. And most of the time we had 14 to 15 at least people in it. So we were crammed in there. It was uncomfortable. It really was uncomfortable. It was, I guess, necessary. And there were days down there where if your license ended in if you had an odd license plate number, then you couldn't drive your car because they were trying to help the environment or something. There was something to do with the environment. And on certain days, you couldn't drive your car. They ended up just renting another van and using that. So I don't know what that solved because people have to go to work. I don't understand that whole thing. But the transportation was very cramped. So, and the roads were busy, not as busy as India, but we still got into traffic jams and stuff. We still had the motorcycles going up in between the cars to get around. We did see 2 accidents involving motorcycles there. That's just the way it is there. Here, we shouldn't be driving like that here. We shouldn't be driving motorcycles through the middle of cars. Down there, it seemed like most anything went just the same way as India was. There was a lot of cars and most anything went. I did miss being able to communicate. The language barriers was tough, so I did miss that. I missed my Bible study in the mornings. I did have the app on my phone for my radio station, my Christian radio station, WPER, and it played down there. I couldn't get on the website. The website was blocked. It said we weren't allowed on it, but I was able to listen to my music in the mornings when I got up on WPER while I was getting ready, getting dressed and going downstairs. And my roommates, being that we were a church group, didn't mind at all that I was playing the music. Matter of fact, we had a doctor and an assistant come down from Canada, one of our doctors that spent the week with us. And she asked me about the app, and she tried to get on the website to download the app, but we couldn't get on. But she took it so that she could load it on her phone when she got back and be able to have the app, because she did a lot of traveling, doing a lot of missions work. So it's always good to, if you have an app or on your local radio station that you enjoy, especially Christian radio station, to download it on your phone. So if you're ever out of the country, you have it with you. I missed my craft time with my family. I missed heating and air conditioning. Down there, there's no heating in the buildings and there's no air conditioning. I can see where maybe they wouldn't need the heat, but it gets hot and sticky. The temperatures were like 80 degrees, but it was a sticky hot, like really, really humid. I just felt like after a couple hours, I needed a shower. It was that like humid, sticky. Um, at nighttime, it got cold. They put like 4 blankets on the beds, even in the hotel, in the girls' home and in the hotel. There were like 4 blankets on the beds. So you would start with maybe the sheet, the cover sheet, and then you would add a blanket and add, because it got really cold at night. There was no, like I said, no heating, no air conditioning in any of the buildings. So that was different. That was a little different. The hotel I was in didn't have windows. My room did not have a window. It had a little tiny window up in the bathroom, little tiny. And I heard at night like cats fighting out in the alleyway. But you couldn't see out of it. It was really high up. And then there was a really high up window about that big in my room that went out to the hallway, but it was a frosted glass. So you could tell when the hallway lights came on, they were motion censored, because it would shine that light through there. But besides that, there were no windows in the room. So the last thing was, how did I do with my weight while I was there? And I gained 4 pounds while I was there, but immediately lost it when I came home. And I think it was because I was eating all the rice and everything there. So the good thing is I didn't keep the weight on. I did lose it. Actually, I'm down a pound from my original weight before I went over there. So that's good. They did not serve desserts like ever there. No one served a dessert. On the last day, we kind of had a little celebration. We went and got fried chicken to bring in to the girls for taking such good care of us while we were there. And because they said the fried chicken there was like celebration food. So we had the restaurant that they would get that from. We bought that for them and brought it in. And then there was the eye doctors there brought waffle makers and made waffles with like a peach sauce and whipped cream, and that was like our dessert. And that was the only time there that we had anything that resembled dessert. I don't know why they don't do dessert down there, but we never were offered dessert ever. And I guess it's because their custom, they don't do it. I don't know if anybody knows anything about that. Let me know, but we definitely did not have dessert down there. Never had cookies, never had cake. Oh, we did have cake. There was a birthday party. One of the girls had a birthday. It was a very small cake. I think it was very small cake. But that was like it. But that's all the questions I have. Unless anybody else in the chat has any questions. If you're here and I haven't seen you, let me know in the chat, because I'm going to get ready to do the drawing. So I have my numbers and I have my bag. I'm just going to put the numbers in the bag and draw a couple names out here. So let me know if you haven't entered the drawing. Let me know, okay? Number 1 is going to be Leah from Hockenberry Holler, because she asked a question in the video that asked for questions. You're going in the bag. Number 2 is going to be Lori, Living Positively Today. Lori, if I draw you and you don't want the coffee, just let me know. Or you can gift it to somebody else if you win it. So you're number 2. Number 3 is Lee Ralph. And he's in the chat. Bushcraft Projects and Homesteading. Number 4 is Buzzsaw. Number 5 is Mary Fran over at No Excuses _ Belief in Yourself. Number 6 is the channel Shiny Knife. Number 7 is Lisa Schultz. Let me flip my page. Number 8 is Lori over at Living Positively After Change. Number 9, these are everybody that came in the chat tonight. Lisa Schultz. Number 10, Leah. Let me know if y'all are still listening. Number 11, Life over 55 with Kim. And number 12 is Lee Ralph. Everybody ready? Let me hear you in the chat. Let me hear you in the chat, y'all. Lisa's here. Who else is here? I'm shaking them up. Y'all awake? Look, Leah's still here. When y'all coming up to visit me? Lisa, Leah, Chris. You awake? All right, first number. Ready? Y'all ready? I'm shaking these up good. Lori's awake. She's here. All right, first number. Here we go. Number 12. Lee Ralph. Okay, Lee Ralph will be number 12. I think I've got his address. All right, one more. Going to Chester, Virginia for Thanksgiving. Really? Oh, we'll be in Pennsylvania. We're going to Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving. All right. Oh, all right. You ready? Next one is number 7. Who's 7? Lisa Schultz. All right. You'll be drinking coffee for Thanksgiving. All right. We got Lisa and we got Lee. I will get those out to you. I think I got Lisa's address. I think I got Lee's address. If I don't, I'll let you know. Thank you all for playing with me today. If you have any other questions, shoot me an email or something. I appreciate y'all coming. This was fun. I have a couple more videos coming out. I have a video that I'm going to edit tomorrow. That's me giving the girls their teddy bears and stuff. I had somebody videotape it when I presented everything to them. So I'm going to edit that one tomorrow. That'll probably be out tomorrow night. And I think there's maybe one more video after that one. But hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you'll watch them. And if you have questions, just ask me in the comments on the videos. And we'll answer the questions. So thank y'all and have a blessed night. And remember, it's all about the adventure, right? All right. I'll chat with y'all later. Bye.